Alright guys, so this video is going to be all about in-depth Alibaba, how to find a high quality supplier, how to find a good deal for your buck, how to contact your supplier and make sure you get the best deal and then negotiate with them as well. I have an email template that I have that you guys can use, that I use for every product that I try to negotiate. Alright guys, so in this video I'm really excited. I'm going to be going in-depth on Alibaba. I know we're on the Amazon website right now. We're going to find a product example and then we're going to go to the Alibaba stage. Don't worry about that, but basically we're going to get really in depth how to find a good quality supplier, make sure you get a good deal, make sure you save a lot of time and effort, have a good quality negotiation with your supplier, and make sure you get the best bang for your buck and don't get scammed. We're going to go through all of that, also my criteria for what makes a really good supplier on Alibaba. So let's just get straight to it. We're going to be looking for a product example. It doesn't really matter. Even if it has high competition, we're just going to be finding a product. So I'm going to do this little trick where I find high selling products. This is basically a dash to show a filter. It's like code basically. And then if you type a bunch of random letters, it'll show you all bestsellers in whatever category that you're in. So we're in all categories. So let's go to something like sports and outdoors, because I kind of like those, even though they're really competitive. Don't ever do these. These are horrible, low demand. And also extremely competitive for the demand as well. So let's get straight to it. You know, like I've recommended for you guys, pick a low, small, not a bulky product. Obviously, the heavier and the more bulky it is, the more money you're going to be taking out of your profit margins, FBA fees, etc., etc. So make sure you find a light and small product. Maybe something that could fit in a shoebox. That's what I kind of recommend. Yeah, never go for clothing. The reason why is just kind of a hard product to sell. There's a lot of things that go wrong with it. Plus, you know, no one wants to buy some kind of cheap, knockoff brand from China. They don't want to buy clothes like that. They want to buy it from a reputable brand that they know. So don't do anything like that. Don't do electronics because there's a lot of issues with them. The more returns you get, the more you lose on your profit margins. So don't ever go for that. And let's just do these. So these are really, really competitive, but they sell like hotcakes. So everyone in the yoga industry that are selling on Amazon, they're basically making $250,000 per month, and that is no joke. So we'll do this as an example. So let's find. So here's the images. So we need to have a little mental note when we look for it on Alibaba. My computer's being really slow. My bad. All right, so pretty good quality. I like the brand. Looks pretty high quality right there. It doesn't look like it's slapped on there cheap. I like it. Really good product photos. So this is a really good brand right here. And I do recommend that you guys build a brand. A lot of people don't really, preach about that. They just say, leave your brand name out and just make a generic product and just, find little gimmicks here and there and just sell that per month and then move on to your next product. I really recommend you build a long-term brand, because in the end, that is a way bigger asset that can, reap in so much more rewards in the end. So I definitely recommend you build a brand. It's not hard. You just need to, pay for a Fiverr logo. I prefer the more money on the logo itself, because that is what people remember. So when people come back to your product, they know exactly what it is when they find related products. So, but yeah, anyway, so we're going to find this product on Alibaba, because let's just say theoretically this is the product that we're going to be picking. This is the one that's the money maker. We're ready. We're ready to spend a month of commitment to this product. So for the keywords, we're going to do, I guess we're just going to do yoga mat. And then is there a carrying strap of that? There is. With carrying strap. All right, so as you can see, that is not the product we're looking for. That's way different. It's something more like this. Actually, that's the exact same product, except for they don't have the swivels. Let me check. The material's a little bit flat. Oh, no, that's it. Yeah, okay. So they basically took this exact same product and they just slapped their own logo on it. You can always change this logo right here. That's just kind of like a generic thing they have. You can get rid of that easily, though, so don't worry about that. So The first step I would do is make sure that they're doing the payment method that I'm wanting. So PayPal is the biggest recommended thing that I recommend you guys to do. The reason why is because if you have any issues on Alibaba, for example, in the past, I thought I got scammed on my first product. They were not responding to me right away when I made the payment, so it kind of worried me. So I kept emailing them, and the trade that I did it on was Alibaba's platform. So if you don't know, if you've never made a purchase before, you can either do trade assurance, which is also another recommended thing, where if you don't get your deal, let's say you make a trade with somebody with a supplier and you don't get what you want, or you feel like you got ripped off or you got scammed, you can make a dispute with Alibaba's website. But the problem is, though, is I've had that issue and I've thought about doing it, and the dispute button, just the website itself, it doesn't look like they put a lot of attention or what's the word? Just not a lot of priority on making sure people get their money back. So with PayPal, it's completely different. PayPal, everyone's been getting their money back on that for a long, long time. People use PayPal for, it's one of the most official ways to, trade money online. So that's what I like doing. I've always got my money back if I ever had any issues. So I definitely recommend you guys use PayPal. It's the safest and the most efficient. If any of the suppliers that you pick, if they ask for wire transfers, don't ever do that, guys. That is a way for them to scam you, because there's no way to dispute that. There's no way to, bring that money back to your account if you were to get scammed. So don't ever do that. Just PayPal or trade assurance. Like I said, I recommend PayPal. So let's go back here and let me show you guys what I do for the research criteria. So as you can see, this guy is 1 year gold supplier. So what does that mean? Basically, that guy has been selling on Alibaba's platform for a year. So the problem with this, though, with the 1 year, is that you can actually pay to have 1 year. So what a lot of people do is they start up a listing on Alibaba, and then they try to make themselves look credible and right out of the gate so they can accelerate their sales. And let's say they're a scammer and they're trying to steal any kind of money they can from you guys. They make their minimum order one piece so they can have trades with anyone, and then they have this gold supplier with 1 year, and they can pay for that to make them look credible, to have people make trades with them. So and a lot of them have like fake manufacturing factories and stuff, or they just pretend that they're a big corporation. I definitely recommend, if you guys have any issues or if you have any skepticism, is that the word? I'm a little bad with my English, but if you're a skeptic about anything, just make sure you call them and just evaluate from then, because that will give you a lot of answers that you have questions for. So I like seeing the transactions. That's a big thing that I like to pick on, because if there's social proof for a product, generally that means that's a valid product that you can pick without worrying about anything kind of scammy. But like I said, I don't pick for anything 1 year, because people can pay for that. I pick for anything 3 years and above. That's way harder to actually pay for in fake. So I want to have the highest percentage of having a successful professional supplier, because I want to have the best experience, and I'm going to be making a long relationship with that supplier. I'm sorry if I'm going a little too deep on this. I want to make sure you guys know 100% on everything when it comes to this, because a lot of people are just completely clueless, and you are spending a lot of money on this website. So I generally want you guys to be informed as much as possible. So with that, none of this matters. Transaction level, response rate, I guess that matters, but you're going to be taking them off this platform anyway to communicate with them. You're going to be doing it with Skype. That's what I recommend. That's what I do every time. So as you can see, they're selling for around $253 to $646. So that's not a bad price, honestly. The reason why it varies is because certain units, let's say like a factory makes 2 yoga mats, and one of them has a little bit extra material or extra cloth, that costs more money. So you get charged per amount of cloth or material that they use, because obviously they don't want to be shorting themselves. So they're a business just like we are, so they want to be making money. They don't want to be losing money, so that's why there's a varying price. As far as the price itself, though, this is really easy to negotiate, so don't worry about that. And yeah, so okay, pause. So come down here, let's see what payment they're doing. So packaging, custom packaging, that's awesome. That's awesome to know. This basically means that if we want to have some kind of custom packaging, they can do it for a small fee, or they can even do it for free. You'll just have to find out. But this is also really important, NBR material. So what you can do is just look that up, and see if it's some quality material. I get really geeky with this stuff, so I try to figure out everything I'm doing. Nitro rubber, also known as bitumen. Disposable lab cleaning examination gloves. So, quality. Let's type in quality. More resistant than natural. So, for the most part, it just looks like some basic, basic quality. It's not anything premium. It's not anything dirt cheap. So, but as you can see, just by looking at the quality, these look really familiar to every yoga mat you've seen in your entire life. That's pretty familiar. So, I'm pretty satisfied so far, honestly, with this product. So as you see, the supplyability is 10,000 a piece. So basically, you can't make a deal with them unless you buy 10,000. That's complete bullshit, guys. You can totally negotiate with that. Negotiate that with them, so you don't have to worry about that. So one trick I like to do to make sure I'm getting the bang for my buck, right? As you can see, there's a lot of prices that vary. So we got $2.53. We got $1.05. Or sorry, $1.50. So $5 to $10, $1 to $8. So we want to find out exactly what we're going to be kind of looking at. So a trick that I do to find exactly the price that I should be paying for that product and that material, it's a really cool trick I like doing. So it's called basically you're going on the Chinese version of Alibaba, and you're trying to translate what the price is on the Chinese suppliers and to see what they're paying for, because as you know, when they translate from Chinese suppliers to supplying to people who sell in America, they like to mark up the price because we don't know better. We don't do the research. We don't know the marketplace like the Chinese sellers do. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this title. Let's just do yoga mat. So we're gonna go translate, and we're gonna go Chinese simplified, and we're gonna do yoga mat. And then we're just gonna copy and paste that. So you get the translation, copy and paste that, bring it over to the Chinese website, copy and paste, and a lot of these products don't look similar. So we might have to put in something else. So let's just try yoga. Or actually, let's try Chinese traditional. So let's try that. Let's see if that's any different. Sometimes traditional and sometimes simplified is different results. So play around with that and see what you can get. So let's find a medium price. So these are the same things. I know that's a yoga mat right there. So this is kind of a tough to evaluate, honestly. So let's try something else. Let's do yoga instead. And let's copy and paste that. Oops. And we're going to see what we're going to get. There we go. So, okay, so as you can see, median price, we're looking around 16 to 14 wands. That is their currency. I don't see any 10 kwans. That's kind of more of a cheaper material, I guess. That's in a package of multiple. So let's do the highest one we've seen. So 16, and let's do currency converter. So we go 1. So let's go 1 converter. So it was, how many wands? It was 16. That was the highest we saw. So 16 is about $2.41 per unit. So that's really good information, guys. This is a really good trick that I love using. Basically, you're just going to the Chinese website version and finding the exact price that Chinese suppliers use, because that's the more kind of exact price. That's the more legit price, because they do like to mark it up to American buyers. So with that, so it's $241. We're gonna look at this. So they're asking for around the right price, so that's good. They're not actually trying to rip us off. That's an amazing thing to know. So we can have a pretty good experience with this supplier. Minimum order quantity 1,000 pieces. Like I said, you can still negotiate that with them. No worries. And then we can get a little more product photos of what we're actually going to be getting. So weight's a big factor. I generally know that these yoga mats don't weigh that much, but I just want to know the exact weight of the product, because it does matter. It cuts into your profit margins. So let's do a weight converter as well. And let's do grams into pounds. Wait, no. Let's do pounds into grams. There we go. So it was 2,000 grams, right? 659. So about a pound. That's not that bad, guys. So FBA fees will not be that much. Let's say we sell this for, actually, let's just look and see what they're selling for. So $20, but let's look at all of them with the carrying strap. Uh-oh, whoops. So let's look at them with their regular price. So we can sell them for, by the way, guys, don't ever pick a product or niche that has Amazon selling in it, because they obviously own the platform. They're going to dominate that market. I don't ever like going against them, because they do steal a lot of my sales away from me. So we can probably sell it for around 15, 16 bucks, which is not my ideal price. So let's see if we can bundle this with anything. So frequent purchases. So one way to figure out what you could bundle your product with if your price is too low, you can look at what people frequently buy after they buy it. So as you can see, foam rollers, yoga blocks, that's a big one. I do know that that's a really good one to bundle with, because the profit margins on these are insane. These are really good products to sell, but they're superly high competitive. That's why people caught on to that quick. So also, guys, if you haven't had this extension yet, it's called Keepa. You really need it. It's this one right here. And also, if you guys are low on money, if you guys don't want to use Jungle Scout, you can also use Unicorn Smasher, which is the free version of Jungle Scout. Basically, if you're not on the Amazon listing, but if you pull it back, it'll give you semi-accurate results. It's pretty close. It's almost spot on, but like I said, it's a free product, so you can't guarantee 100% accuracy. You gotta expect that when it's a free product. So yeah, as I already spoke about this, it's a really competitive product, so this is nothing you want to pick. And also, Amazon's selling in it because they know they can dominate it. So 17 bucks is about what we'll be pricing it for. So what I like to do is I like to either pick value or price. So what I mean by that is, when I pick a niche that I want to slide into and steal a lot of the sales, I want to either have more value on my product, which is either having a better listing, bundling it with another product just to have added general value to that, whether it's outsource an ebook and put that in there as well as a bundle, or just lower the price, because the people who have already established in here, the people who've been selling for months, you're not going to be doing the exact same numbers as them, obviously, because they've been in the game for a while. So either you need to have more value in your product, or you need to have a lower price. So that's what I like to do, to know exactly what I'll be getting when I jump into that niche. So I'd expect around 70 to 60% of what the top rated sellers are, and that's if I pull it off pretty well. Like I said, this is not a product I want to pick. So alright guys, so once you guys are completely done with the whole research process of finding your supplier, You've done the criteria. You've made sure this is everything you want. They're doing the payment you want. The shipping method, everything. Once you have everything evaluated and this is the product that you really want, you do need to contact them, obviously. And I do have a template exactly. So once you guys basically are... So the price is right. Minimum order we can always adjust. Price looks just fair. It doesn't look like it's anything above what it really is, market value. The supplier looks high quality. The product looks not high quality, but general good quality, which is kind of high quality because most products, generic products, are low quality because they're, being shipped from China. So most of the people in your, niche that you pick, they're going to be doing half-ass job on their listing, their page, the product, everything. So I like to go above and beyond and change anything I can to my product to make it different and stand out. I will also make a video on how to prototype your products to make it different from the competition and make it stand out, which is a key factor in your success in your product. Because if you're selling the exact same thing everyone else is, your numbers won't change. Your numbers won't be the exact same, and they'll just be a little bit under what you see everyone else selling for. So yeah, so when it comes to, find the right supplier, this guy looks high quality. He's got the price down. Minimum order, we can always adjust that. Don't worry about that. We got the payment method. We have everything pretty much good to go, honestly. So once I have this all set up, I'm going to contact the supplier by now. I'm going to negotiate with them, and I have a free template for you guys. You guys can use down below in the description that you guys can just copy and paste and use for yourself. You guys can just have it and use it for your own will. So let's just break down what the email says. You can pause and read it, or you can just read along with me, basically, because I'm going to describe why you want to ask these questions. So, this is kind of just blah, blah, blah. You want to have a good intro. I think this is really key, though, to say you want to have a small order. You want to start off with a small order, and then if you're happy with that purchase, you will make a larger order afterwards. This kind of gives an incentive to your supplier to do a good deal with you, make a satisfying deal with you so that you come back for more, because just like I said, they're a business as just as we are. We're trying to make money. They are trying to make money. So our service to them makes them money in the long run. So this will give them an incentive to do a good job for us. We want to have the best units. We don't want returns. We don't want to damage the product. So the first question we're going to be asking them is, can you provide custom packaging? This is really important. Some of them don't provide custom packaging, so you want to know this. Some of them charge maybe 50 cents to $1 per unit. Some of them do it for free. So far, every supplier that I've asked for, they've done it for free. I do order low kind of units. I don't order much over 200, so that's probably why they provide that. But like I said, it's really important. You want to do that because everything that you can change to your product to make it different from your competition, it sounds simple, but it really does change the results you get when you make your product. So definitely want to do that. What's your average production time for each order? The reason why this is really important is because basically the whole algorithm on Amazon is that you make money depending on how many sales you make. So like the algorithm rewards you and puts you on a higher rank if you're selling more units. So basically what happens is if you have, let's say 100 units and you sell out in the first week that you start selling because you ordered a low amount of units, right? And you picked a really high demand product. Let's say it's holiday season, everything sells like hotcakes. You sell your yoga mats, 100 units the first week. Once that gets sold out and you have no units left in your inventory, it does take time to obviously ship those products back in, maybe 1 to 2 weeks. And that's 2 weeks of complete dead time, which means your algorithm, your ranking is going to go down because you're not making any sales. That's a whole algorithm behind Amazon. They want to give high quality products to you on the first page, the products that people are already buying, because social proof is the #1 way to evaluate if a product is good or not. If people are buying it, then obviously people like the product, and that means other people will too. So if you're selling a lot, you'll be rewarded for that. And if you run out of your products and you don't have enough time to order enough, you'll have no sales, which means all that time and effort and all that money you put into Amazon PPC, trying to have that product launch to get your product to the first page, that's going to be all for nothing. That's time, effort, and money. So that's a huge question you guys need to ask. Make sure you guys do that. What's the price per unit? So the reason why I asked this is because a lot of Chinese suppliers, like I said, they like to rip you off. Some certain units, let's say like 100 to 500 is, I'm just going to give a crazy price, but let's say $400, and then let's say 500 to 1,000, it's like 500 to 600, which is a crazy markup deal for you if you were to pick anything above 500. Like I said, they like to take advantage of you. So just evaluate by asking a bunch of questions from the start, and then from there on, just kind of do what makes sense to you and what makes a better deal for yourself. So depending on how much money you have, how much time and effort you want to put into this. So that's a really good question to ask. Again, the more questions you ask, the more that they're not going to be taking advantage of you because they understand you've done this before. So that's a good question to do. Can you modify or change the color of your product at certain parts? This is extremely important because, like I said, prototyping the products, I want to make a video on this as well, is super important, guys. This is so underrated. People don't care about this. But this is probably one of the things that sets me apart and makes me more money than my competitors, honestly, because the more that you change your product, the more that you pop out, and the more that you're different from everyone else's generic product, the more that you get traffic, because people are looking for something different than what everyone else is selling. It makes your product look high quality, especially if you have a brand and logo on there. Slap a custom packaging on there, you're good to go. Like, you're gonna dominate that market, and it's really simple as soon as you change your product. So make sure you guys ask that. Some of them do, some of them you have to pay a lot of money for. I recommend that you guys try to find a supplier that will do that for maybe 50 cents to half of a I can't even fucking say it. Half of 50 cents. So 50 cents to 25 cents per packaging design. Anything above that, you're really cutting into your profit margins, so don't go anything above that. And then you want to ask for shipping costs. So why is this important? If you only ask one shipping cost, it's like literally going to a car dealership and talking to a salesman and saying, hey, what's the price of this car? And you're not asking the miles on it. You're not asking if there's and this is obviously used cars, by the way. You're not asking for, a quote. You're not asking for the miles on it. You're not asking for, I'm only 20 years old, so I don't really know everything about cars, but you know what I mean. You get the gist. So you need to ask a lot of information. Otherwise, they're going to understand that you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, and they're going to take advantage of you. So please ask a lot of questions, estimating on the shipping cost. You really need to know this for your own benefit. Save you guys some money. How many items usually come in a case? That's a good question. This is going to be useful for you in the future. If you're a first seller, you want to know how many come in a case for your shipping plan when you ship your products to Amazon fulfillment centers. So that's just for you right there. And then what are the dimensions of each case in cubic meters and kilograms? So this is really important because you want to know the dimensions of your product, because there are free calculators online. I won't have a link in the description, but you can just look them up online where you can find free calculators that will estimate exactly how much your shipping should cost depending on your dimensions. So you can basically right here just verify if they're ripping you off or not, or if you're getting a markup on your price and you're paying more than you should. Because like I said, a lot of these Chinese suppliers, if they can take advantage of you and make 50% more profit margins, they will. So please just check this, save your guys time, save your guys' effort, save your guys money. So just do that, please. And then this is also really important. Bring them off of Alibaba's platform and bring them to Skype. The reason why is because it's live chat. And generally when you do this, with my personal experience, when I do this, they generally, they kind of make a middleman to contact me instead of having, some random, guy who's doing a lot of the selling and it's just kind of going back and forth with me every other day, which takes, long, let's say we're on Alibaba's platform and I ask a question. I have to wait till the next day to ask another question because generally they're busy doing other stuff. And then, we're in different time zones. I'm not going to stay up till like 5 a.m. to talk to them or, 2 a.m. to talk to them. So Skype is a great way to do it, live chat. This will make sure you will have no heartache or no, not heartache, but you'll have no headache when it comes to communicating with them. And then, obviously appreciate your time. Look forward to hearing from you, blah, blah, blah. That's just good because, So it's pretty straightforward, guys. This is really, really good template that I love using. I haven't really changed it up much. Obviously, you're going to, put in the blank for some of this stuff, put in your product details and stuff like that and your full name, obviously. But that's pretty much it. So this is pretty much all I really do for Alibaba. So I gave you guys my little 168.8 trick. There's another trick you guys can use. I will make another video actually, so I will save this for another video. But yeah, so I will show you guys how to evaluate what kind of traffic you're getting for your product by using Google's platform, using Google Trends and also Keyword Ad Planner. I'll have that in another video, but I hope you guys like this video. I hope you guys like the effort I put into this. I want to give you guys some help on creating a really profitable Amazon FBA business. I love talking about this. I generally love doing this. So this is like fun to me. So I hope you guys like the help. If you guys have any questions, please let me know in the comments below. I will answer all of them. And if you guys have any topics you guys want me to put, videos on, I will do that. So I hope you guys liked the video. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. I want to have a lot of subscribers on here because I want an Amazon FBA community, and I want to basically just have a little hub where everyone can come to and get all their questions answered, have value in every single video that they see. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.